I find it appalling that these drivers don't have an ecosystem that help them actually use that income to build wealth. Just like you said, right? The families you work with, they have a greater income than the median black families that we see. And I don't think truckers going to operate even fall in that bracket because you're making $250,000 a year. That's good income, and this is just them alone.
Right.
If they have a wife at home, that's a nurse or whatever it is, just making $90K. So that could be another $100K a year, right? So you're looking about between, like I said, between $250K up to maybe $400,000 per year.
Yeah.
What is it that truckers need to learn when it comes to building wealth to financial literacy? Like, what is it that you would say is? I mean, I can tell what's lacking is the lack of education, lack of exposure. This is what we're bringing bringing awareness now. But what is it that you think that someone can do with a annual income of $250K to $400,000?
You do a lot. You do a ton. Yeah, I think the biggest issue is that a lot of these guys, and this isn't an issue because you do want to be self-employed to some degree because there's no cap on how much you make.
That's true.
Yourself, right? But the difference though is that let's say I go work for Google, some company like that. Now I go to Google, I get a 401K when I sign up. They automatically start making me contribute. They match my contribution. They give me health benefits. They give me life insurance. They give me disability coverage, etc. They give me stock in the company, right? And then on top of that, they give me a financial advisor, right? So you have all of these resources just thrown your way when you can attach yourself to some of these entities that, as a self-employed individual, it's like,
Figure out.
hey, you got this check?
Yep.
Did you save enough for taxes?
That's true.
Right? So I think that's the difference there. And, you know, with them being in that position, there's more onus on them to make sure that they're going out to seek and find the right information. That's why it's great that we're doing shows like this, and you know, you got Peers Academy and things like that. But I'd say if there's anything that they can begin to focus their mind around is, all right, if I was a W-2 employee or when I was a W-2 employee before, what benefits did I have, and how do I recreate those benefits
100%.
in my new role?
I like that.
Right?
Yep.
And in doing so, there's massive tax incentives,
That's
right? Like you can put away 3 times as much as a self-employed individual for retirement.
That's true.
All tax deductible.
That's true.
Right, so it's about $60,000 a year. I mean, all of your insurance, you could potentially deduct that from taxes if that makes sense.
Yep.
So,
But also truckers get a lot of write-offs. So real quick too is another thing. Truckers, if you're listening, stop going to H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt to do your taxes. You're leaving so much money on the table. Find you an accountant that specializes in transportation that can actually help you with those write-offs. And is that something you as a financial advisor as well can never provide those things, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we're not CPAs, but obviously we have guys on that work that we use.
Got it. Okay, so let's walk this out, right? Again, like I said, a trucker, we're talking about gross, right? Gross revenue could be anywhere from $250K to $400,000 a year. Let's just say, okay, we have a net income between me and my wife. I have a net income of $200,000 a year.
Right.
And I come to you and say, Rush, me and my wife are making $200,000 a year, but it takes a lot of work for me to be on the road. She doesn't like it. So my goal, I really want to do this for the next 10 years.
Right.
And I want to at least have, and tell me if I'm shooting too much for the moon, like, I'm making $200K a year, but I want to actually, I want to be aggressive with saving, I want to be aggressive with investments. I want to have $1 million available to me in the next 10 years. From your experience, from what you're seeing, is that possible?
That is, right? Because you think about, you say 20% of your income, that's $40,000 right there. You do that for 10 years, it's $400,000.
That's true.
Let's say you invested over that 10-year time frame. Hopefully your money doubles.
Wow.
That's close to $800,000 to $1 million right there.
So it's just a matter of being exposed to it and knowing what to do.
It's really a math problem.
Gotcha.
It's a math problem that people at the end of the day, they don't want to sit down and do. Because one is to come to your earlier point, it's uncomfortable to go through finances and where am I spending money and kind of all that. That's it puts you in a state of vulnerability. Okay. And then secondly, people don't want to be accountable to, I'm saving $40,000 a year.
That's very
true. I'm saving $3,500 a month.
That's true.
I'd rather spend $3,000 on the section.
That's true. Say it again.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than putting the $3,500 in a SEP IRA or an investment account that's growing at 7-10% that a decade from now, okay, I got $1 million, cool. I can put that into an annuity, and I got have $4,000 of truly passive income each month. I don't have to go out and work for the rest of my life.
See, that's very important because truckers, again, they make money on their labor. Like they have to get up, they have to leave their home, they have to drive the truck, they have to climb up and down, and it's a hard work. But unfortunately, even the drivers that work for companies, they don't even have those set up to where it's like, okay, I'm gonna have a good retirement plan, I'll have a good pension, because if you look at it, 93% of the companies that make up this $800 billion industry, it's companies that own 5 trucks or less. So it's very hard. These companies are small mom and pop companies as well. So it's very hard for a company like that to say, well, I'm going to provide 401k or pension or life insurance. So it's very hard. So if you're not holding for the UPS, the FedEx, the Amazon, you know, the Werners, the US Express, you pretty much you at the bottom of the barrel. So for me is I want to bring more awareness to truck drivers to really understand the importance of financial literacy, the importance of life insurance, annuities, those things, because I believe again the money that truckers make, they can actually turn their life around in the next 10 years. But what I also see is that truckers are big spenders, just like you said, right? It's like a habit, right? It's like, you know, how our spending habits. And I'm not sure if the spending is coming from